Hello BookTube, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. Today I've got a tag video for you. This is a tag I was tagged in last year. It's the Fall Time, Cozy Time book tag, and I was tagged by Krystol the Bookworm, and it was right around Thanksgiving time when she tagged me. And I know fall technically doesn't end until December 21st, but after Thanksgiving's over, you're really starting to look towards Christmas, and so I just decided to wait and do this tag this year. I had big plans to do it on the first day of fall, and that just didn't happen, but I'm doing it now. And this tag was created, I think, a couple of years ago by Sam from Sam's Nonsense, and so I will link her original video down below, as well as the video from Krystol the Bookworm, where she tagged me last year. So let's start with the questions. The first topic is crunching leaves. The world is full of color. Choose a book with fall colors on the cover. And so I was going to choose Red Pyramid because I just finished reading that in September, but as soon as I finished with my September wrap-up, I loaned it out to a coworker who's reading it with the son, so I had to pick a different book. But I found one that I really like even better. I just hauled this not too long ago. This is by the Pioneer woman, Ree Drummond, and it's called Black Heels to Tractor Wheels. And the cover is so pretty. It's got this orangey and reddish flowers. It's got a little bit of sage green highlights, and it's so pretty. I haven't read this yet. Ree Drummond is from Oklahoma, which is where I'm originally from, and I've been following her success for a little while, and I love some of her recipes, and I think this is the love story of her and her husband, so I'm excited to read it. Number 2, cozy sweater. It's finally cool enough to don warm, cozy clothing. What book gave you the warm fuzzies? Well, here in Florida, it's really not cold enough to don a cozy sweater, although today I am wearing one of my thinner long sleeve shirts because after the hurricane that came up the coast last week, it left behind some cooler air. So at least I can wear a long sleeve shirt until it gets until midday, when it gets too extremely hot and I have to change. On to the book. So the books that I have read most recently that have really given me the warm fuzzies are The Penderwicks by Jean Birdsall. The second one even more so than the first one, but I returned the second one to the library, but I have a copy here of the first one, so that's what I'm going to show you. This first book won a National Book Award, and it's just really adorable and delightful, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of the series. It has a Little Women sort of a feel to it, only they're 4 younger sisters, and they their mother has passed away, but they do have a father who's very present in their lives. In fact, he's a great dad, and it's just really a sweet set of books, and I can't wait to move on to the third one. All right, number 3, Fall Storm. The wind is howling and the rain is pounding. What is a book or genre you like to read on a stormy day? Well, I tell you, even though the storm that we had last week didn't hit us directly, we were threatened with power outages, schools were out, we did have a lot of rain, and we were inside and feeling cozy. And I'll tell you what I did read. I read The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R. Tolkien. Now, I started this like a month ago, and I actually just finished it. This is a reread for me. This is at least the 3rd or 4th time that I have read this, and I hope to go ahead and read the other 2 books before the end of the year. But this was just wonderful, and it's not necessarily a cozy book, but because The Fellowship of the Ring has to endure so much on their quest, it just seems a perfect book for a stormy day. So I think this is a perfect choice. Number 4, Cool Crisp Air. Who is the coolest character in a book that you would like to trade places with? Well, I don't know if she's really a cool character, but of the books I've read this year, the person I could see myself actually really trading places with is the mom in Little Blog on the Prairie by Kathleen David Bell. I read this summer for the middle grade summer reads that was hosted by a class, and I really enjoyed it. There was a couple of unrealistic scenes, but overall, I really enjoyed the book. And this is about a family who goes to a pioneer camp for the summer, and they have to dress the part. They actually have to work a farm over the summer and grow things and plow the fields without electricity. And I totally could see myself as a mom putting my family through this. Absolutely, without a doubt. If I could find one of these camps we are signing up. I just think this was awesome, and I would totally go, if no other reason than to see my 12-year-old squirm without electricity and without internet. So I know that sounds terrible, but really, I would love for her to be able to get a feel for what life was like before technology. I mean, even I'm 51 years old. I grew up with a television and I was glued to it, and there were times when my mom had to discipline me for whatever reason and I got TV taken away. That was harsh, but that was good for me. It really was good for me. So I would sign my family up for this in a heartbeat, and I would totally trade places with the mom in this story. Number 5, hot apple cider. What underhyped book do you want to see become the next biggest, hottest thing? Well, a friend of mine is now a published author, and this is his debut novel, Europa Journal. The author's name is Jack Castle. I've done a full review of this on my channel, and I would love to see this book become the next biggest, greatest thing. This is a phenomenal book. It's got time travel, it's sci-fi, it's got space travel. It's just great, and I would highly recommend that you pick it up. He also has a second book that's called Bedlam Lost, and I am getting ready to read it this month, I hope. It is a paranormal, supernatural thriller, and I would love to see either of these books become the next greatest thing. Alright, coat, scarves, and mittens. The weather has turned cold, and it's time to cover up. What is the most embarrassing book cover that you own that you would keep covered up in public? I don't actually own this book, but it is in my possession, and I'll tell you why I have it. Why does a 51-year-old woman have Dave Barry's Complete Guide to Guys? Let me just tell you, and I would not carry this around. When our Historical Society first put up our little free library, I was donating a lot of books, and then I also got a box of books that were donated from other sources. And this is one of the books that was in that box. And since the initial grand opening day, we had a lot of people in and out and looking through the books and everything. I saw this, and I wanted the initial group of books that we put in there to be really just appropriate for anyone, and not have anything in there that would be questionable. And I know Dave Barry's a funny guy. I've actually read a couple of his books. We have a lot of kids that come through, and I wanted to see the appropriateness level of it for all age groups. And so I brought it home, and I stuck it on my shelf, and I forgot to ever go through it, and I was just kind of skimmed through it, and I forgot to do it. So while I was looking for a book for this question, I ran across this, and I thought, this is the perfect one to show, because probably why I've never actually sat down and looked through it is because I didn't want anyone to see me reading it and wonder why in the world I was reading Complete Guide to Guys. I mean, I've been married for 18 years this week. Anyway, yeah, if I had to carry this in public, I would definitely cover it up. And now that the newness has worn off the Little Free Library, we've had books of all sorts go in and out of there. So I'm probably not even going to take a look at it. I'm just going to go put it back in the Little Free Library and let that be that. Number 7 is pumpkin spice. What is your favorite type of comfort food or fall time, cozy time food? Well, I dug out a recipe that I got from a scrapbooking friend several years ago, and I've made it for Thanksgiving and or Christmas for the last 10 or 12 years, and I really like it. I wish I could give credit to the creator of the recipe, but I don't have any idea who that is, but the title of it is Pumpkin Crunch, and it is kind of like a combination of pecan and pumpkin pie with a cake mix in the middle of the layers that's patted down, and you pour butter over that and then put the nuts on, and it's just really good. So what I thought I would do is share the recipe with you down in the description. If you would like to see the recipe for this, then I'll be happy to share it. Then the other thing, now as far as drinks for the fall and winter, hot chocolate, homemade hot chocolate is my favorite other than coffee. And I use a recipe that my mother found somewhere. Again, I don't know who it originated with, but it makes a very big batch. So over the years, I have made 2 or 3 batches of hot chocolate mix every winter, and I pour it into a variety of jars, lidded jars and containers, and put marshmallows on top, and that's what we've given to my kids' teachers over the years. And so it has 4 ingredients. It's got non-dairy creamer, it's got powdered milk, it's got powdered sugar, and Nestle's Quick. So I could put that recipe down below too. Again, it makes a giant batch, and then you scoop out about 1/3 of a cup for a mug and add hot or boiling water, and you've got hot chocolate, and it's amazing. It's so good. So those are my favorite fall time / winter time things to eat and drink. And number 8, a warm cozy bonfire. Who do you tag? Who do you want to gather around the bonfire with you? So I've got a few people that I want to tag. The first group are people who've been booktubing and YouTubing for a while, but in my opinion don't have enough subscribers. So I would invite you to check out their channels and subscribe. And I'm going to tag Elizabeth Tyree and Emily Sears and Shay from They Call Me Shay Shay Girl and Bridget Reads. And then the last few are people that have only been booktubing less than a year, and they have not had an opportunity to do the fall time cozy time tag. And so I'm going to tag Alana Reads and the Book Nester, and I'm also going to tag Steve Donahue. And of course he's only been booktubing a few months as well, even though he has soared to great heights in booktube popularity already. But I'm going to tag him because he likes to be tagged for things, and he likes to do tags. So all of you guys, I tag you, and I hope you enjoy doing this tag. So that's it for this video. Hope you're having a happy fall so far. Have a great day, read a good book, and God bless you.